The cabin lights dimmed as Flight 407 soared above the clouds, and Mark Redding, CEO of one of the largest tech firms in North America, sank into his seat with a weary sigh. His tailored suit felt suffocating, his tie tight, and the endless meetings of the past week replayed in his mind like a relentless film reel. He glanced out the window at the endless black sky, wondering why, despite all the accolades, he felt hollow. "You look tired, sir." Mark nearly jumped. A small voice had broken his brooding silence. He turned to see a little girl, maybe 7 or 8, with tousled brown hair and big, earnest eyes peering at him from the seat across the aisle. Her backpack was plastered with cartoon stickers, and a stuffed rabbit peeked out from the side. I'm fine," Mark said, trying to muster a polite smile, though exhaustion softened it into something that barely resembled warmth. "No, really," she insisted, tilting her head. "Your eyes are all puffy. You look sad too." Mark chuckled nervously. "Well, business travel can do that to a person." The girl's small hands clasped her rabbit. "My mom says when people are sad, they should get help. Or maybe, someone to listen?" Mark blinked. It had been years since anyone outside of his assistant or PR team had looked past his title and actually seen him. "Would you like to hear a story?" she asked suddenly, as if reading his thoughts. He nodded, curious despite himself. "My grandma tells me that when people help others without expecting anything back, they make a secret treasure inside themselves," she said. "Like magic. You can't see it, but it grows and grows." Mark was silent. In all his years climbing the corporate ladder, he had never thought of success as a kind of magic inside him. All he had collected were numbers, awards, and brief moments of recognition. "Do you have magic inside?" she asked, eyes wide. Mark laughed softly, almost ashamed. I don't think so. I'd been too busy." The girl's face scrunched in determination. "Then let's make some magic. Right now." Mark frowned. "How do you? I mean, you can't just sit here looking sad. People are hungry, or lonely, or scared. Even on a plane. We can help." She hopped off her seat, pulling out a small notebook from her backpack. "I made a list of things I can do. You can pick one." Mark couldn't help but smile at her earnestness. Together, they went through the list: smile at someone, help someone with their bags, draw a picture for someone feeling sad. Mark picked the last one. He hadn't drawn anything in decades, but he took the pencil she offered and sketched a little airplane with 2 stick figures holding hands, flying above the clouds. "There," he said awkwardly. "Magic?" The girl clapped. "Yes. That's some serious magic, sir." Over the next few hours, Mark found himself engaging with the cabin crew, chatting with elderly passengers, and even offering to help a mother calm her crying baby. Each interaction was small but meaningful, and he began to feel an unfamiliar warmth. Near the end of the flight, the little girl leaned across the aisle again. "See? Magic. You helped people without expecting anything. That makes your secret treasure grow. You feel it?" Mark closed his eyes and nodded. He did feel it, a soft glow of something he had long forgotten. Gratitude, empathy, connection. Real humanity. When the plane landed, Mark offered to walk her to her mother. "Thank you," he said, feeling a rare vulnerability. "I think I needed that more than I realized." The girl smiled. "Everyone needs magic sometimes. But now it's inside you too. Don't forget it." Mark watched her disappear into the crowd at the gate, holding her mother's hand. For the first time in years, he felt lighter, truly lighter. He realized that no title, no award, no deal could ever replace the simple, transformative power of kindness. And from that day forward, Mark made a quiet promise, to remember the little girl on the plane and the magic she had reminded him of. He didn't need to look for success in boardrooms anymore, it was in every act of compassion he could give. Somewhere above the clouds, a little girl had changed a weary CEO's life and, in doing so, she reminded him how to live again. Over the next few weeks, Mark couldn't stop thinking about the little girl. Her words kept echoing in his mind, a gentle reminder that success meant little without connection. He began noticing the small opportunities around him: an exhausted assistant needing a kind word, a janitor struggling with a broken cart, a colleague silently shouldering a heavy workload. One rainy morning, as he walked through his office building, he saw a young mother sitting alone on a bench with her toddler tugging at her coat. She looked frazzled, her eyes tired, her hands shaking slightly. Without thinking, Mark sat down beside her. "Hi," he said softly. "Can I help with that?" She looked up, startled at the CEO in the sleek suit offering assistance instead of ignoring her. "Oh. I don't know." "Here," he said, lifting the stroller and checking the seatbelt. "Sometimes even small things can make a big difference." She smiled tentatively at first, then with warmth. "Thank you," she whispered. Mark realized he was smiling too, a smile that wasn't for the camera, for the boardroom, or for social media. It was real. It was the smile of someone who had remembered what it felt like to care without expectation. Over time, Mark made small but meaningful changes at work. He instituted policies to help employees with mental health, created mentorship programs, and encouraged his team to volunteer. At first, it surprised the board, but gradually, the company culture shifted. People laughed more, listened more, and offered kindness freely. Months later, Mark boarded another plane, heading to a conference across the country. As he settled into his seat, a little girl with brown hair and a backpack full of stickers walked down the aisle. His heart skipped a beat. It was her. She recognized him instantly, her eyes lighting up. "You kept the magic going," she exclaimed. Mark chuckled, tears threatening to spill. "You started it," he said. "I just needed a little reminder." She nodded seriously. Sometimes, all it takes is one person to make someone else's secret treasure grow. You did that. As the plane ascended, Mark looked out at the clouds, feeling lighter than ever. The weight he had carried for years, the pressure, the isolation, the endless pursuit of more, had lifted. He realized that real power wasn't about controlling a company, or making deals, or winning awards. It was about touching lives, being present, and choosing kindness even when it's inconvenient. The little girl leaned against the window, holding her stuffed rabbit, and Mark thought, if one small act of kindness could change him, imagine the ripple it could create in the world. And in that moment, high above the earth, he felt it, the magic she had spoken of, quietly glowing inside him, ready to grow with every act of compassion he chose to give. Because sometimes, a stranger on a plane isn't just a stranger, they're a mirror, a teacher, and the spark that reminds you what it means to be human.